everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is when your kids move out, but they still need you. They still need you, even when they move out. Before we get started, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all the new viewers, the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, to get us started, I did pull a short video. Let's watch this video, and then we're going to dive right into this topic. When your grown children move out, but they still need you. Here we go.
Yo, Mom, I'm at the doctor, and they asked me, am I a resident of the United States? What that mean? Yo, Mom, they asking me what my social security is. They want my IG or something? I can plug it. Yo, Mom, what we eating for dinner tonight? What you mean I can't come over?
Now you heard the lady in the video, and she talked about her kids moving out, but they still need you for certain things. Well, you know, I've gone through that. I've had my sons to move out, but let me tell you something about when your kids leave home. It's a lot of things that they need to know in the world that they don't know just because they move out of your home. So they're still going to need you to help them to navigate through certain things. You know, their bank accounts, their money issues, their living. When your kids move out, it doesn't mean it's over. You know, a lot of parents, sometimes they say, well, I can't wait until you get grown and gone. Well, when they go, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gone anywhere. They have just moved from your resident, but they still need you, parents. It's not easy to navigate in the world, even as adults. So if your kids, they are just thrown out there in the world, it's very difficult for them. And I speak from the experience because when I left home, I really needed support from home, but I didn't get it. You know, my parents just felt like, you know, after you finish college, you go out, you're on your own, not realizing that there's so many things out there that you don't know. I felt like a fish out of water when I got out of college. I didn't know anything about anything. I never had a bank account. I definitely didn't know how to buy a home or anything like that. And even renting an apartment. Nobody even told me about, you know, what to look for and how much I ought to be paying or anything. I did not have any training from my parents to navigate my life outside of them. And a lot of kids don't. You know, they're at home and, you know, they're under the umbrella of their parents. And everything is cool. But when they go out on their own in their own apartments or wherever they go, they still need the support of the parents, especially for a few years. And even if your children go out and get married, it's the same thing. Young couples need support of the parents to get a good footing in life. Because if they don't, when your kids move out, it takes them years to get that strong foundation that they can build upon. Now, there are some parents, I'm not talking about all parents, because there are some parents that really teach their kids how to navigate life before they leave home. But many of us don't. We just, you know, figure like when they get 18, they're gone, you know, and we can enjoy our lives because they have their own lives to live from that point on. Parents, your kids still need you. They need you until they get solid. And they'll come back and ask you for a lot of things. Money, what to do in this situation, what to do in that situation, for help, aid, whatever they need. It's the same thing as if they were living with you, but they have their own apartment and they're trying to figure out how to build a life on their own. But parents, they need your help because you've built your life and you can help them to avoid a lot of potholes while they're trying to build their own lives. So it's a good thing if you are helping your children when they leave home. It's not a bad thing, but kids need you when they first leave home. A lot of children, kids, well, I say kids, but they're really grown. But when they leave home, to prevent them from being taken advantage of totally, they need the help of the parents. They need support of the parents. You see, and they'll come back and ask you, not saying that they're going to take your advice on everything. But if they come and ask you for something, I believe that you should help them if it's in your power. I don't think that you should reject them and say, oh, well, you're grown now. You got to figure it out on your own. I don't think you should do that. I think you should support your children until they don't need your support anymore. And I know it's a lot of parents that's going to disagree with me on this, but this is my opinion. And I just believe that your children, although they are grown and adults, if they come and ask you for help, and it's within your power to help them in any way, I think you should do it. I really do. I remember when I first was thrown out there in the world, I didn't know anything about anything. I had just finished college, but college doesn't prepare you for life. College prepares you to just go out and get a job and work for somebody else. That's all that college prepares you for. And everything else, you got to either learn on your own or go back to your parents and ask them their advice about certain things, whether you take the advice or not. If your parents are supportive, you will go and ask them. But if your parents are not supportive, like mine weren't at that time, I had to figure it out on my own. And it was a very hard and bumpy road until I found my footing. People, parents, you can help smooth the way for your children. So don't be disgusted when your kids come back and ask you for things. I know I met a gentleman one time who told me that his children, they don't want to listen to anything that he has to say, but they're always coming around with their hands out. Well, because they still need you. They still need you. One does not have to do with the other. Just because your children, now I can see that they're disrespectful. That's another thing. But just because a child does not take your opinion, I didn't say value, but take your opinion, it doesn't mean that you cut them off. Some parents would do that. You know, they don't want to listen to me, so I'm not going to help them. No. Help your children. Help them to navigate life. Let me tell you, if your child leaves home and they come back and ask you about anything, it's because they've tried other ways, other sources, and couldn't find the answer. And they feel like you have the answer. So that's why they come to you. And if they come and ask for money, let me tell you, many times that's their last resort. They're not just coming to ask you just because they feel like you got it. They know that they have moved out and they should be doing it on their own. But they find it difficult. And it is difficult navigating these things for the first time. But parents, you can make their lives a whole lot easier if you are receptive to it. And if you can help. If you can't help, but then that's another thing. But if you can help, why not? Don't throw your kids away and say, oh, you grown now. You on your own. Don't do that. That is not the right thing to do. And Many times when you do that and your kids are just 19, 20, or whatever, they just left home or just out of college. Maybe they're 24 or 25. It's the same thing. They still need your support. You're not done yet, parents. Just because your kid turned 18 and they moved out, you're not done. There's more for you to do. They need support until they get a strong footing. I know when my oldest son got married, when he finished college, he got married. All right. They didn't have money. They didn't have a place to live. So I invited them to come live with me. They lived with me for 5 years until they could afford their own place to go. They didn't have to go out there struggling how to eat, where to sleep, things like that. No, they came to live with me. And they even had 2 babies while they lived with me before they were able to stand on their own 2 feet and venture out into the world. You see, I didn't have a problem with it. I don't feel bad about it or anything. In my heart, I felt that was the right thing to do because of the way that I was done when I finished school. When I finished school, I was told, don't come back. Keep going. I was a young girl. A young girl. I had no idea. I had no idea about men because I was a virgin. I had no idea about going out into the world because I was raised in a Christian home and we weren't allowed to go out to parties or things like that or communicate with people who were not in the church. So I absolutely did not know anything about the world. But I was told after school, yon yon. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's why so many young people get into trouble when they leave home. And sometimes this trouble can be something that they don't come back from. It can destroy their entire lives only because they didn't get the support that they needed when they left home. Parents, be there for your children. Always be there. If you can help, help. It's only going to bring back a blessing to you. Because remember, what you put out is always going to come back in one way or the other. It may not come back from the person that you gave it out to, but it will come back to you. Remember that, people. Do not turn your back on your children. I think this is very important. Don't turn your back. Always support them and be there for them. Now, there are some times when you have to kind of let them go, especially if they are hurting you in some way. If they are disrespectful, if they are tearing you down, making your life miserable, then you got to let them go. Then that's when you have to cut them off. But if they are just out there trying to make it, and there's no problem with the way that they treat you, everything is good, help them. There's no reason not to. I hope that you understand the message today. And I really hope that it helps someone. Because I find it's so many young people out here being influenced by negative, demonic energy because they don't have the support of their parents. And so others out in the world influence them to do different things to survive. And that shouldn't be. Love yourself and love your children and take care of them as much and as long as you can. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. and I really hope to see you next time.